8, Decent Work and Economic Growth. It's about ensuring that we all have access to fair wages, secure jobs, and economic opportunities to live better lives. And we're not just talking career today. We've got some incredible guests who will help us explore how we can make this SDG into reality. Now, joining me today, we have Sherry Dublao. We also have Clarice Bautista. We also have Gab Tambunas, and of course, Brent Aurelianida, who are all from Papawali Productions with diverse perspective on SDG 8 or the decent work and economic growth. So how are you guys doing? Right, good, that's awesome. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate your presence too, especially to you guys. I know that you guys are busy, but you guys really gave time for this show. Now let's dive right into it. SDG is all about promoting inclusive and sustainable economic growth, employment, and decent work for all. Now let's start by asking, what does SDG 8 or decent work mean for each of you? Starting with Sherry.
For me, personally, decent work means having a job that not only pays well, but also respect your rights as an individual. It's about creating opportunities where people can thrive with fair wages and work-life balance.
Exactly. It's also a creating environment where we can grow their careers and have access to the tools and resources needed to succeed. But it's not just for the privileged. It should be accessible for everyone, no matter what their background is.
I'd say decent work also ties into job security. It's about having stable employment, not living in constant fear of layoffs or exploitation. It's about fairness in hiring, promotion, and compensation. We all deserve that peace of mind.
And let's not forget that decent work should also be sustainable. It's not just about economic growth today, but ensuring that we don't harm future generations. We need to build a system that's good for people and for them.
Yes, I totally agree with each and every single answer that you guys have given. Those are really great insight because we know that SDG is something that we should all really know about. Now, it's clear that decent work isn't just about payment or wages. It's about the whole package, from fair treatment to job opportunities for growth, and of course, sustainable future. Now, let's take a quick tour with a fun segment I'm calling this Fact or Fiction. I throw out a statement about the world of work and I want you guys to tell me if it is true or just a myth. Now, the mechanics is very simple. If you guys think that the statement I will be giving is true, then you guys just raise the word fact. While on the other hand, if you guys think that it is a bluff or not true, you guys would be raising the word fiction. So I will be distributing it to you guys. So alright, for the first one, are you guys ready? Listen carefully. The gig economy offers more stable jobs than the traditional full-time position. Is it a fact or fiction?
Fiction. Well, it seems like more flexibility. Gig jobs are often unstable, with no benefits or job security.
Totally agree. The gig economy can be great for side hustles, but it doesn't offer any long-term stability, which is critical for economic growth.
I have a question. Most gig workers face income unpredictability, which can be stressful and it's hard to build financial security.
And for me, fiction too. It's a myth that gig economic jobs are a solution to this. They're often low paid and secure.
Great, I totally agree with you guys. For the next one, all workers should have access to remote work options. Is it a fact or a fiction? Starting with Sherry.
Fact. Remote work can help people from all backgrounds access jobs, especially those who face barriers like commuting or living in remote areas.
Absolutely. It helps to create a more inclusive job market, but we also need to ensure that work is equitable and doesn't really divide between those who can work permanently and those who can't.
It offers flexibility, which supports work-life balance. But like Clarice said, we need to make sure we don't create new
very interesting. Thank you so much. Alright, for the last one. A higher GDP automatically means more decent jobs for everyone. Again, a higher GDP automatically means more decent jobs for everyone. Is it a fact or fiction?
Fiction. GDP growth doesn't always translate in better jobs. Sometimes the wealth from the economic growth is concentrated in the hands of few, leaving many people still underpaid or in precarious work.
Fiction. Economic growth can lead to more jobs, but they're not always decent jobs. We need to focus more on quality employment, not just quantity.
For me, it's fiction. Higher GDP doesn't guarantee a better quality of life for everyone. This trend is making sure that growth is inclusive and sustainable.
For me, fiction. It's about equitable distribution as well as shared heritage. Growth will benefit only the top tiers, leaving the rest behind.
I totally agree. That was a very great discussion. That was a very fun little segment to break up the conversation. Now let's talk about economic growth a bit more. How do you think we can ensure that growth benefits everyone and not just a select few? What are some ways that we can ensure that SDG 8 isn't just a lofty idea, but a tangible reality?
I think that it's crucial to invest in education and training. When people have access to education and right skills, they can access better jobs. And that drives economic growth for everyone.
Agreed, Sherry. I also think that governments and companies need to create more opportunities for women and marginalized groups to enter the workforce. Diversity isn't just good for inclusion, it drives innovation and economic success.
We need policies that make workers' rights, things like paid sick leave, healthcare, and fair wages. Without that, no economic growth will be truly sustainable.
I would add that technology can play a huge role. Using tech to upskill workers to ensure they're prepared for the jobs of tomorrow is key. But we need to make sure that digital divide doesn't exclude certain protections from these opportunities.
I totally agree with you. Those are really fantastic ideas. And as we wrap up today's conversation, let's end with this. If you could give one piece of advice to someone who's looking for decent work, what would it be and why? Starting with Sherry.
Don't be afraid to ask for what you are worth. We all deserve fair compensation and respect in the workplace.
Keep learning and growing. The more skills you have, the more opportunities are going to come your way.
I'd say don't settle for less. Always strive for jobs that align with your values and seek out employees who care about your well-being.
For me, look for companies that truly value work-life balance and committed to creating sustainable future.
Agree. That was very, very interesting advice from our guests.
As we wrap up today's episode, let's take a quick moment to summarize all the key points we've discussed today. SDG 8 is all about promoting inclusive and sustainable economic growth, productive employment, and decent work for everyone. It's not just about increasing GDP or improving economic figures. It's about ensuring that the benefits of the economic growth are shared by all people regardless of their background. This means creating jobs that offer fair wages, safe working conditions, and equal opportunities for everyone, including marginalized groups. One of the biggest challenges we face in achieving SDG 8 is balancing group with sustainability. Economic growth should not come at the expense of the environment. With a climate crisis looming, we need to rethink the way we build our economies, making sure that growth is not just fast, but also green and sustainable. When we think and talk about decent work, we're not just referring to any job. We're talking about jobs that are meaningful and offer opportunities for advancement. This includes ensuring that young people, women, and other vulnerable groups have access to good jobs and are not just left behind in the job market. And the reality is youth unemployment is a significant issue globally, and we need more initiatives focused on providing the skills and training needed for young people to enter the workforce. Small and medium-sized enterprises, or SMEs, are another critical piece of the puzzle. These businesses are often the lifeblood of local economies, creating jobs and fostering innovation. Supporting these businesses through access to financing, resources, and skills development can have a huge impact on job creation and sustainable growth, especially in developing regions. Of course, achieving SDG 8 also requires a strong leadership from governments. Policymakers must create environments where businesses can thrive and workers are protected. This includes laws that ensure fair wages, workplace safety, and protection against exploitation. At the same time, businesses themselves have a role to play by adopting ethical practices, offering fair pay, and maintaining transparency in their operations. Corporate responsibility is key here, as businesses that prioritize decent work contribute to long-term sustainable growth. But it's not just about governments and businesses. Each one of us has a role to play, whether we're advocating for better labor, supporting ethical companies, or simply being mindful of our own impact on the economy and environment. Every action counts. The more we embrace sustainable practices, the more we'll contribute to a world where decent work is accessible for everyone. So, as we wrap up, I encourage you to think about how you can contribute to SDG 8 in your own life. Whether it's supporting fair trade, advocating for fair labor practices, or simply staying informed about the issues. Every small action helps drive positive change.
Thank you so much to Sherry Doblao, Therese Bautista, Gab Abrumas, and Brendan and Ida for really, giving your insights about the SDG 8 or the decent work and economic growth, and of course to the entirety of the Papel production for really giving your opinions and insight for our viewers to really tune in. And now, may I give my piece of advice or my invitation. Decent work and economic growth isn't just a dream. It's something we can all work toward. And that is working together. Now, thank you everyone, and thank you for listening. Take